Hey guys, and welcome to GM Nova Creations. In this video, we'll be looking into some amazing methods and practices you can use to keep yourself motivated. Let's get right into it. Now, what exactly is motivation? The Oxford Dictionary defines motivation as a reason or reasons for acting or behaving in a particular way. It also states that it is the desire or willingness to do something. In one word, let's call it enthusiasm. Right now, I'd like to think that I'm displaying an example of this by being motivated to share this video and information with you. I have a desire to do so, and I'm quite enthusiastic about it too. Now, motivation is interesting in the sense that it comes easy to some people, and for others, not so much. Just like some people struggle with academics and others with sports. Although heavily simplified in this example, motivation can be looked at in the same way. And just as a person will study to get better at academics or train to be better at sports, working on certain habits and methods will allow one to stay motivated if worked on often enough. Now it's time to look into a few of these said methods and practices you can use to keep yourself motivated. These methods will work best if done in this specific order. Goal setting. Goal setting is extremely important when it comes to motivation. There are two types of goals which make the process easier, the first one being long-term goals. For the sake of explanation, we'll be using an example of a student in high school or university. Their long-term goal could be that they'd like to graduate. It could also be a goal that would happen over a shorter period of time, such as passing the academic year and moving on to the next one. But the thing is with long-term goals is that they are often difficult to use as motivation alone. And so to compensate for that, we have short-term goals which eventually lead to the long-term ones. An example of a short-term goal for a student could be that they would want to pass the next test or do well in the next assignment. It's a shorter period of time which lessens the chances of losing interest, but it's also a goal that is linear to the long-term goal of wanting to graduate or pass the academic year. Why is this so important? Goal setting not only gives you a finish line, but it also gives you purpose and direction. If you know where you want to be, you'll have a general idea of what you need to do in order to get there. It becomes easier for you to keep focus, and you'll gain more clarity in decision making on your journey to that goal. Scheduling. Setting a schedule to match your goals might just be the most important part of keeping motivated. Habits are extremely powerful, and there is a strong misconception in society that only bad habits exist. But that's not true. There are good habits, and scheduling daily tasks to reach your long and short-term goals creates said good habits. It also helps you to take action instead of wrestling with the decision to take action. If a student doesn't have proper time management and fails to schedule a time to study, they'll go through the day thinking to themselves that they hope they find the motivation to study. But if a student schedules a specific time to study, then even if they don't want to, they'll have taken actions, which makes them fall into a specific routine, which in turn keeps them motivated to study. Reward system. One of the best ways to ensure that you stick to your scheduled task is by rewarding yourself upon its completion. Whether it's a bowl of ice cream after having completed a study unit, or going to the cinema with friends after having done well in a test, rewarding yourself is a superb way to keep motivated if done correctly. But of course, all things in moderation. You've got to be careful not to give yourself a reward that does not merit the work done. You won't see anybody rewarding themselves with a new cell phone just because they managed to go to the gym on a specific day. Make sure to use realistic rewards that merit the work that you have done. Finally, avoid procrastination. In order to stay motivated on a specific task, you must do everything in your power to avoid procrastination. It's human nature to be distracted by things we find more interesting than the task at hand. Oftentimes, it's nearly impossible to stop ourselves from being distracted by a good music video or a text message by a significant other. But where there's a problem, there's always a solution. If you find yourself distracted by text messages, turn off your phone. If you find yourself easily switching from a PDF file of your study work to a catchy Taylor Swift music video, use a textbook instead of a computer. If you're just not in the mood to study, change your goals and raise the stakes for yourself. The point is, you need to try and do everything you can to eliminate any and all distractions which will keep you from your goals, long or short term. Now, in conclusion, these methods are created as a way to build habits. When you've built a habit, you become accustomed to doing things on specific days at a certain time, or when you feel like you should be doing something. If for some reason you miss out on doing a specific task when you were scheduled to do it, it feels wrong. That's the motivation inside of you wanting to complete the task that you've set out for yourself. And that can happen if you train yourself the skill of motivation by following the methods that's been provided for you. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope that the information provided was able to suit your needs. Now, this YouTube channel is focused on self-help and helping others, but GM Nova Creations itself is primarily focused on writing. I've written several short stories and short poems which can all be accessed on the GM Nova Creations website, as well as the GM Nova Creations Facebook and Instagram pages. I've left a link below to all three. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and follow GM Nova Creations social media pages for more updates on content just like this. And I hope you'll all be back for the next video.